Get to the calls. I got a quick question
we got
about
a bunch
Wiggins.
of calls we're going to get to.
So on the Steiny meter, because my meter broke, you know what I think of Wiggins. All of them. And I saw something. On the court, Steiny, this is a big deal, right? On the court. If, let's just say it's 10 games, this throws everything out of whack.
The way, and I've said it before.
I sound like a baby crying. I'm sorry. But
to me, basketball, this is one of the reasons I love it. I just love it, has Wiggins been, like Wiggins has been underperforming this year. Okay, last couple games been better.
Yeah, 12.
But he's been underperforming. All right, well, when the Warriors reached their peak as a team, he was playing the best basketball of his career. All right? So now we lose him. But we're not losing the guy who's playing the best basketball of his career. We're losing a guy who was, he had 10 good games, but this season he's been underperforming. Okay, so now what happens? Well, let's get Moody in there. All right.
Who wasn't playing at all. Now he goes to starter. I'm not mad, Moses, but man.
But this is where Moody can be Moody can be right between Wiggins. And what I mean by that is there's a very good possibility maybe Moody steps in for Wiggins and performs better than Wiggins has played this year. I think that's possible. And then you see what you got, and maybe you still can ascend. But Moody will not play as well as Wiggins played during their championship season.
All right.
So they'll lose something there. But I was never under the impression that Wiggins was going to return to that player anyway.
All right. See,
because that's the only time we've ever seen that player.
Well, how about this to that? Real quick here. There were 25 games for anybody in the camp of Wiggins is showing something, so by the time they get to the play-in to get to the playoffs, our brother will have worked it out. But now, and it could be 23 games. He could come back here in a few days. But if not, and we're talking about 10 or 12 games missed, then that tells me, Steiny, a guy that has the skill set, is just about mindset, now will only have 12 games to get a lather.
Yeah.
And then if Moody balls out, what happens when Wiggins comes back?
He's going to the bench.
Because I think now that's where we're at. You don't just get rewarded of going back. Actually, you know what I mean? I got to be careful,
Maybe Wiggins comes back and he comes off the bench.
But what's a fan deserve to know, Steiny? Nobody wants your address. Nobody wants to know the hospital room. And hopefully it's not that. But damn it,
I don't think
people are invested emotionally.
I don't think we deserve to know.
And
I don't. Right. I mean, that doesn't mean we can't be frustrated. Can't be flabbergasted.
All right, on the Steiny bingo card here, I'm letting it all out. Do you think there's a possibility that maybe this has something to do with his love of the game or something going on with a teammate?
Well, here's what I want to be careful of. This is the main thing I want to be careful of. And we may do it anyway. We'll probably talk about Wiggins for 85% of the show. But we got to get into Necti, by the way. But
he had a good stat line.
A good stat line?
It was nice. I looked at it like you.
He had a great stat line.
Yeah.
He had 39 in a college game. Anyway, I look at it like this.
Be careful.
If he comes, what if he plays tomorrow? And he just plays the rest of the year?
No doubt.
Then I think...
But did Kerr sound like a coach that thought that was on the table?
No, he didn't. But I've got to... We've got to see...
Last year he left and never came back.
We came back for playoffs.
Yeah, but no regular. Am I crazy to go off of that? What our fans, if they go off of that we call it a track record. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to know, but give us.
They don't know, Goo.
Oh man,
they can't give you.
I'm basketball crying, man.
They can't give you a date,
and it's not more important than what he's dealing with. But what if he's dealing with what? Who's the baseball player we talked about? Rendon, what if he's at that juncture to where, now was that private or maybe that would help the cause if you just said, my mental health, I need some time off.
Well, Rendon just said he's got higher priorities than baseball. He's still getting paid, still showing up. 888-957-9570 is the number. Here's what we're talking about today. We are talking about Steve Kerr getting asked about Andrew Wiggins. And you got it, Evan. Thank you, buddy.
To the privacy that the situation deserves. I'm sure you can understand the fan sort of interest after what happened last year, and the sentences you've used already today, that you expect him back, but then in the next answer you said you kind of hope that he's back. What can you tell us with regard, is there any chance that this is a similar situation to last year with Andrew Wiggins?
I just think that, we're in a position where, Wiggs is a private person, and so he's asked to keep it private, and we're going to honor that. So, it doesn't help for me to sit here and try to explain any of that. The bottom line is, we respect Wiggs. We need him, and we fully expect him back, but we just don't know what that will be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. When I hear that, it doesn't sound like he'll play tomorrow in Toronto, but we got nothing but time. Let's start us off with, let's go to Rhonda. Rhonda's in San Francisco. Hey, Rhonda, how are you? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, guys, thanks. First-time caller. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Andrew Wiggins told us everything we needed to know last year. When he came back, he said family first. And we all get that. We sympathize. We respect it. But he and his team know the consequences. And whatever he's going through, my heart's in it with him. I think that in a couple games here, if he's not back, Steve Kerr and the organization owe it to the fans to be respectful of the fans, to set our expectations for the rest of the year. Because we don't want the disengaged, out of shape Andrew Wiggins back. So respect him, let him have his time, but let us know that we're going forward with Moses Moody. And if Wiggins comes back late in the game, I mean, come on. We have a better chance with Moody, in my opinion. So that's what I have to say.
All right. You know what? Just hearing that sounds very fair to me. To me, what I heard Rhonda say was, all right, he's going to miss tonight in New York. Yeah, if he misses the rest of this road trip and now they come back against Milwaukee and he's still out, yeah, you know what? Maybe at that point, it would be right of the organization, not to tell us, but to set an expectation of what to expect for the last 20 games.
No doubt.
I think
she knocked it out.
I think that's fair.
I don't want the details. I just want the expectations. I'm still in that word. That's where I'm at, Steiny.
888-957-9570 is the number. The other thing that look, to me, Andrew Wiggins this year has been, when he's been at his best, he's been pretty good. Not great. Even these games, last 10, okay, so Philly, they won by 25. All right, what did he do? He had 21 and 10. Okay, then what? 5 for 10. 5 for 13, 6 for 10, 4 for 10, 7 for 12, 8 for 14, 5 for 8, 5 for 10. Those numbers, with all due respect, sound like the Andrew Wiggins that the Warriors got when they acquired him. Like, that's the player he's been the last 10 games, not from 2 years ago. He hasn't been that player.
But you haven't mentioned defense on those.
I didn't notice. I have not noticed Andrew Wiggins locking anybody up in the last 10 games. I haven't. Maybe if I'm wrong, I'm all ears. He's I don't know. I think Moody can be better than Wiggins has been, or at least Moody can be. I mean, if Moody plays well, you're not going to miss the last 10 games of Wiggins outside of depth. But to me, Wiggins at his best, like if both those guys are going to give you 1 out of 3 good games, Moody and Wiggins' best game will be better than Moody's best game. How do you measure that in wins and losses? I don't know. We got to let it play out. 888-957-9570 is the number. Andrew Wiggins won't be playing tonight in Madison Square Garden against the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson's listed as questionable. We'll let you know as soon as we hear something about him. Let's go to the Mojo Man in Castro Valley. What's up, Mojo Man? How you doing?
Hey, man. What's up, my friends? Hey, just real quick, a couple things, man. You keep talking about Van Morrison, which is great, man. But one of the best is Jim Morrison of the Doors.
Yeah.
Hey, and a shout out to the Guru, because he used to play I don't know if he still does, basketball at 25 Fitness in San Leandro.
All day, baby.
Awesome.
I mean, he's there.
Hey, so anyway, man, I agree with the Guru 100%, man. Like, I love Andrew Wiggins. Don't get me wrong. I love the guy, man. But this to me seems to be like, it's crazy. It's not that it's unacceptable because we don't know what he's facing in his personal life. But dude, man, this is crazy. Like, again, just like the Guru said, the same time from last year, here he comes again. I feel like the Guru was right. He was starting to get it back. He was starting to roll, and it's just going to upset the whole chemistry of the Warriors, man. And it's just crazy to me, man. I'm the diehard Warriors fan. I've been a Warriors fan my whole life, way back in the days of the Gatling gun and all that kind of stuff, man. So to me, I'm with the Guru 100%, man. This is driving me crazy, man. And I'll tell you what. They got to go with Peyton the second, dude. I love Moody, but they got to play Peyton the second more. That dude is unreal, dude. His defense, give him more time, man. And they got to go back to Looney. You got to have a big guy in there. Looney's the only real big guy they got, and maybe he ain't playing as good as he has this year. But dude, Looney is the man, dude. He's been the man staple in their championships. So man, hey. You guys keep it up. I love you guys, but I'm with the Guru, man. I don't know what to say, dude. I'm flabbergasted myself, man. I really am.
If I were a Golden State Warrior diehard, I would be flabbergasted too.
See, okay,
I would be.
Yeah, I got you.
No doubt. I'm not saying. Please, I'm not saying you shouldn't be flabbergasted. I'm just trying to put it all together, kind of impassively. Yeah. By the way, very simple answer: you can't play Gary Payton II more. He'll get hurt.
My fault.
He got hurt in Washington.
Dude, he grabbed his groin area, and I was like, oh no, be a pop, but he was good. Now, Steiny, I need help. My boy Hawk, my guy, he texted me.
Him.
Yeah, I said Hawk, the guy that always texts us during the show. My man, shout out my boy Hawk. Yeah. Listen, now that's funny. I'm thinking because you went over the top 5 of my guys. I don't know if Hawk got in there, but he's in there. He texted me, Goo, you can't judge. I'm not judging. I'm just telling Hawk, I tell you what, partner, and again, Evan, I'm not Michael Jackson. We do a radio show, Theater of the Mind, and I'm telling you, if I were out for a substantial amount of time, I just think I owe it to our fan base to let them know what I'm dealing with. Not what room number somebody's in a room, not what's going on, but I would let them know. But to have this seal on it, it is kind of unsettling, Steiny, and that doesn't mean I want to, hide in his bushes. But, dude, this happened same time last year. Man.
Last year he went last year he left on February 14th, and this year it's February 26th. So right around the same time. You were right. We were talking about this earlier. He missed the last game before the All-Star break last year.
Man.
This is a point that I had written down, and I want to emphasize it from the 925 on the Comcast Business Text line. By the way, if you want to jump into the discussion, there's the YouTube chat. Just search 95.7 The Game. You can jump into that. We always look at that. And we also have the Comcast Business Text line, 510. What is it? I can't think of the number.
888-957-9570.
That's the one thing in my life I had memorized. Yeah. And that's also the phone number if you want to get in person. The issue about the privacy, there's no doubt Wiggins is a private person, but now that privacy is kind of working against him. There's just no doubt. The boss said earlier, what if this were Draymond Green? Well, Draymond would probably tell you what's going on.
Draymond go bye-bye.
That's why everybody's different. But I do think there is something to, Wiggins being so private. But you know what that tells me? Whatever's going on, he's embarrassed by, I think. Or it's so sensitive, he doesn't want to share it. And then what do you do? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
And I'll say this because I'm not a part of this crowd. You tell me what you think here.
Yep.
Kind of talking to myself, too. I do it a lot. Twitter is a cesspool. Social media, the TikTok. But, Steiny, a way to shut up the jackals in speculation is maybe not giving all the truth, but giving a couple nugs. And then that's how that goes away. But I guess it becomes a 3-alarm fire in the world of the jackals and social media when there is nothing, a substance to where, hey, You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think part of who Andrew Wiggins is there's a and it again.
Like Bob Myers had to be next to him when he came back and talked to the media. If it was just you taking care of a family member, why would you even need any help? Or why was that so touch and go?